New kit today. This is from XLCS Design, that is Will von Tegen. You can check out their YouTube channel. So Will got in touch, would you like to try out this Pyxis Cage? And I said, yes, absolutely. I've actually been a fan of their YouTube channel for a little while now. And a while ago, I was looking at getting a G2 micro cinema camera and using their cage system to rig that out properly. But ultimately, I didn't do that, mainly because the Pyxis came out actually. I was kind of on the fence at that point, and then Pyxis got announced and I was like, oh, maybe I'll wait and not build my own box camera. Maybe I'll just use the Pyxis as the box camera. So what we're gonna do is just unbox what we've got just here and then slap it onto the Pyxis, and I'm gonna see how it goes. This, although no doubt I will kind of put it all together and have a bit of a vibe with it, I'm gonna continue to use this and just experiment with it, see how it works for me, and in general just keep featuring it in my content. Obviously this has been sent out to me at no cost, so you can use your own judgment on whether you think my opinion is valid in that sense. But yeah, keep watching because I am going to feature this in many different videos over the next couple of months probably, and you won't see me just using the cage. Sometimes I'm going to strip the camera down and have a slightly different arrangement. Sometimes I'm going to have it rigged out for different things, and that's going to mean, you know, different setups and all that. So what have we got? Well, to start with, I'm going to take all of the bits and pieces out and just have a look at the cage itself. Now, you might wonder, why go to the trouble of having a cage on a camera like the Pyxis? It is relatively well appointed with mounting points and that kind of thing. And I think for me the answer is twofold. One, I want to have something that's going to protect the camera, and I do things like I skate with the camera. So if I did fall over and the camera hit the ground, having a cage on it is going to mean that it doesn't scuff up the camera. I don't, you know, shear off any buttons or ports or that kind of thing. So it helps to give me that peace of mind. Additionally, there are just so many more mounting points on this cage. I mean, like, I'd probably say hundreds. I think that would be fair. There's quarter 20s, there are 3/8, they've got locking pins, and the locking pins, I think you just get a sense of that, they aren't just in one position, they actually have an array of mounting points for the locking pin that go around that, that 3/8 hole. So you can mount those locking accessories in different orientations as you see fit for your rig. Now there are a couple of extra holes that you've got on the front for mounting hot shoe accessories just there. And I think the thing for me which is most exciting is definitely going to be the fact that you've got these mounting points on the side just here, coming down the edge of the camera essentially at that point. Because at the moment when I use the Blackmagic top handle, which I really do like, there's just no way of putting any extra accessories on the top really. It all gets quite crowded up there and you can't get to any of the holes that are actually on the top of the Pyxis, or even on the little small rig plate that I've got for the top of the Pyxis. So having that diagonal section just there is going to mean that I can mount something onto that, you know, like a timecode box or a transmitter for a microphone pack, receiver even for a microphone pack, that kind of thing. Additionally, having mounting points on the side that has the screen is actually going to be super handy because I can then have a handle on this side a little bit more easily, and it just gives me a few more options for how I'm actually interacting with the camera. Now I've gone for the full metal jacket version just here, and that means that we actually have this front plate. That is only compatible, as I understand it, with the L-mount Pyxis. If you have any of the other Pyxi, then you're going to need to have the non-full metal jacket version of this, which doesn't have that. Reason to go for that, if you do have the L-mount, is there are more mounting points on the front just here, where you can actually have various different adapter supports. So if you're going out to a PL mount or something like that, you can actually screw your adapter into the front plate of the cage just here and just make everything a little bit more locked in, a little bit more solid, which is nice. Now, aside from the cage itself, Will has sent me out a load of the other accessories. So we have the back plate accessory just here as well. And then there's various little locks and things for your cables. I don't know if that's really going to come out on camera, but I'll go through all of this in more detail and actually do the rig. Got a lovely red body cap just there, which is going to make it look great for behind the scenes, even when there's no lens on it. We have a red, very nice USB-C cable, and that does have the little screws, the little locking thing, so it is compatible with the locks and the mounts that Blackmagic have already on the Pyxis. Get a lovely big Allen key tool just there, very solid, very nice. Seeing a bit of a red theme going on here, which is cool. Few other little mounting points, and this one is another, I think that's for the USB-C port lock adapter just there. Some screws and Allen keys, a load of 15mm rails, and those are fun because they have a couple of things actually going on with these. Let me just open it up and I might be able to show you in a little bit more detail so you can get a sense. So with these just here, we can actually mount them, and that's why, incidentally, you have this long Allen key just here. So you can mount them to the cage, and they have tiny little nub just there, which is to prevent it from spinning. So that has a little screw in and will actually index into the various mounting points on the front of the rig just here. So you can have that in there, screwed in, absolutely no base plate needed. You can just take your 15mm rods off directly from the cage, which is cool. Keeps everything a little bit more compact and svelte, and it's always nice to minimize where you can and still have the option of, you know, mounting a follow focus or the EVF mount, whatever it happens to be. And then in here, some of these are incidentally optional accessories, so I've just got the full spread. When you go to have a look at the XLCS website, you are going to see all of the different accessories you can get, and yeah, you'll have to rig out as you see fit. So we've got a little cover just here, which goes on the side of the whole assembly, slot into, I believe, yes, into there. So you get that as a sun hood, to make it just a little bit easier to use the side screen when you're out and about. Don't know how much I'm going to use that because the side screen does tend, for me, just to be there to, you know, put in my settings and that kind of thing. But it's nice to have if you do have someone needing to look at that screen. Gives you the option. And then there is also a couple of mounting screws, so you can actually, I just slot it in, but you can screw it down as well so it doesn't budge. And we also have a couple of screen protectors, which again slot into place, so you have a black one and you have a clear one. The idea being that if you are putting this into a bag or something, you can just slot that screen protector in, and then it is nice and safe and nothing's going to scratch the screen. Again, nice thought out approach to the camera rig just here, and a very simple solution to that. And you can have that clear one in all the time if you so choose, and that'll obviously mean that you don't have to worry about anything scratching your rig. So that is the XLCS Designs Pyxis Cage, and that's the full metal jacket version. I'm going to be using this over the next few weeks. I've got a couple of shoots coming up this week that I'm going to try it out on, and I'm going to be messing around with the anamorphic lenses as well with this. So yeah, drop any questions you got down below. In the meantime, I will be having a bit of an experiment with this.